Good morning. Bore da I chi gyd. Dydd Gwyl Dewi Sant hapus iawn. Happy St. David's Day. And in a moment, you won't be seeing me, you'll be hearing my voice, but who you'll be looking at is the man himself, St. David, portrayed in the icon painted by Fran Whiteside, who teaches at Llanover Hall in Romley Road. We don't know much about St. David, but the little we do know invites us to imagine what he looked like, this holy man who travelled around and shared the gospel with people in Wales, known for his life of hardship and simplicity, for his teaching Christian faith, building on the spiritual foundations of ancient Celtic culture. The gospel came to this land from the Near East in early Christian times. Its Christian mission emphasized the careful Christianizing of indigenous culture, not its abolition. The story of Jesus at the heart of the gospel is best understood by first finding, in awe and wonder, the presence of God in all creation, working in the world and in our lives. Dewi nurtured communities based on the worship of God with Christ Jesus at the centre, and serving others humbly. It took time and attention to everything in life, wherever God's love and mercy could be recognised. Christianity had arrived in West Wales a couple of centuries before St. David. He didn't start or manage a large organisation. The monasteries he founded were really quite small. He was a monk, living with others in small family groups, subsistence farming and fishing. He became a pastor to other small groups in the ancient kingdom of David in the 6th century. It's said that he made the perilous pilgrimage to Jerusalem, perhaps by sea rather than overland. He was ordained there as an archbishop by the Patriarch of Jerusalem. He may have been the first Welsh Christian to meet there with other Christian leaders and discuss gospel teaching and faith. I wonder if he was surprised to go to Jerusalem as a lowly pilgrim monk, and then return with a fancy title and a big job to do. When you gaze at the icon, what do you see? A man with a wise and kind face. He's dressed as monks normally would be in those days, in the everyday garb of a poor peasant, just like his neighbours, not like an official of a large institution. In fact, he's not dressed to exhibit his status at all. His priest's stole of office, you notice, is almost covered by his working dress. It serves to remind us just who he is, for people he lives among. Much more important than his dress, they know his face, and he knows their faces. His right hand is held up in a gesture that both greets and blesses us. Hand closest to the heart holds the shepherd's staff. His calling to love and care for others is thereby shown. And the dove of the Spirit sits on his right shoulder, inspiring his pastoral leadership. Behind him is the green turf and blue sea of the Pembrokeshire coast, and a few daffodils too. Below him, closest to his heart, is an image of Dewi, St. David's Cathedral as we know it, built 500 years after his day. It symbolises the community of churches which is still St. David's diocese. In any icon, date and time don't matter that much. We gaze on lasting, eternal treasures presented for us to wonder at here and now, in the eternal moment. The Celtic cross on his right hand makes him part of the wider universal church. Its decorative pattern originated in the southeastern Mediterranean or even further east. Familiar words in Welsh and English encircle his head, along with angels, God's own messengers. It's the phrase he's most remembered for. Do ye the little things in life. But what is it we hear often said? The devil is in the detail. Not so for Dewi Sant. For him, the world in its intricacy as well as its vastness is a sacrament of God's glory to be cherished lovingly. It's what he took to heart from the gospel of Jesus, what he shares with us in Wales. Can we do likewise? Dydd Gwyl Dewi Sant, hapus iawn i chi gyd.